And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right for me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the U.S.A.
This 4th of July is the 240th birthday of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And today's talk is God Bless the U.S.A. So the 4th of July is a time where we do picnics and parades and fireworks. We saw our first ones last night. But it's something more than that. It's an opportunity for us to reflect and remember what this country is founded on. Our forefathers, in severing the bonds with Britain, signed the Declaration of Independence, stating these fundamental ideas to form a new country. Dan, do you have that? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We've learned this from grammar school, haven't we? This statement goes beyond the circumstances of 1776. It transcends any age, any era, any challenge our country has faced or will face. And it is standing on this foundation. It's living from this foundation that we can change and that we can better this country and the world. So when we turn the TV or the radio on or look at the newspaper and we hear, see, read news that upsets, angers us, creates all those emotions we don't like the feelings of inside us, when that happens, ask yourself this: what would our founding fathers do to solve today's problems? These were wise, accomplished men. They were governors, generals, judges, congressmen, physicians, attorneys, businessmen who embodied and improved on the learning of the ages. And they birthed a fabric of government which has no model on the face of the globe, and which can be used today to address any issues that are facing our country. All people are created equal, endowed by their Creator with the same inherent natural rights. Not man-made rights. Do you hear that? But rights that stem from our divine creation. The rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So what did our founders mean by pursuit of happiness? Today, that word pursuit is thought of as chasing or seeking, but that's not what our nation's founders meant. In 1776, pursuit did not mean chasing, seeking. It meant practicing, experiencing happiness. You hear the difference? Not through a hobby or a vacation or yummy food or drinks or a long 4th of July weekend. It meant everyone has the right to flourish, thrive, and grow. Everyone. No matter the race, no matter the color, the religion, the gender, or the lifestyle. Now, that does not mean we're not going to experience the circumstances that cause pain. It's part of life, isn't it? But it's about thriving, growing, despite the challenges, despite the pain. And it's what this country has done over and over again. We've risen above. We've continued to grow through all the challenges, through all the pain. We're going to look at just some of the challenges that we've risen above since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, Sand Creek Massacre, which was when the militia attacked the Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, World War I, St. Valentine's Day Massacre that killed 17, 1929 Wall Street crash where 23,000 people committed suicide in 1 year, World War II, Pearl Harbor attack where 2,400 were killed and 1,178 were wounded, Korean War, Vietnam War, Cuban Missile Crisis, Desert Storm, assassination of John and Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King, the riots in L.A. that killed 34, Kent State where 4 were killed and 9 wounded, Watergate, New York City blackout where there were 25 hours of looting and disorder, the mass suicide of Jim Jones's religious cult, 918 deaths, 9/11, 2,996 killed, 6,000 injured. Columbine High School, Sandy Hook, Boston Marathon bomber, Charleston church shooting, and fresh in our hearts and minds, the pulse in Orlando and the West Virginia floods. Awful things happen and are happening, not just in our country, but throughout the world. We have a choice. We have a choice when we hear about these things to fuel them with an energy of anger and fear that created them, with our thoughts, words, and actions, or to choose our thoughts, words, and actions so that an energy is sent out that provides a foundation for this nation and for the world to thrive, flourish, and grow. You see how it comes down to my personal choice in the moment? It's so easy to react when I turn TV on and see some of these things happening. But can I stop and catch myself in that moment? Because, as we teach in Unity, every thought is energy. And if that thought is negative, that's what I'm sending out there, and I'm adding to more of the energy in the world, the negative. But if I stop and choose, and I know it's not easy with what we see happening, but it isn't anything new. I just gave you a list, and that list is even longer. We keep growing, because in the long run, we do remember to change those feelings of fear and anger. We do catch them. The underlying cause, and think about this, of every tragic event, every war, every massacre, is people judging people, isn't it? It's the belief that we're not all created equal. It's the belief that I'm right and you're wrong, that we're right, they're wrong. That's what causes wars, terrorists. Whenever I judge anyone or anything, I provide the energy, I provide the fuel that can lead to the creation of other painful events. Do you know that? Do you know that you can do that? You know we do that. I chose this talk title, God Bless America, U.S.A., because what I've seen in this country over and over again, not just the past few weeks, but whenever disaster occurs, is a people whose strength is the ability to come together and help others in times of need. So no matter what our initial reaction is, we show up. A people whose core does not judge by race, color, religion, or sexuality, but does what it can with what it has to help. In Orlando, We saw people waiting in the hot sun in bloodlines to donate blood for hours. And then what did we see? We saw other people come up and drop off water and drop off food for them. And we saw people show up and give all kinds of free services, free church services, free flowers, free cemetery plots, free pet care. And it was one prayer vigil after another. In West Virginia, the catastrophe is widespread. Did you know there's no rioting or looting? Families, mothers, children, people are showing up wherever they can to help the others. When something happens in this country or in the world, it is my choice how I respond and how I react. Do I choose to talk to others about what's wrong with this country, what's wrong with this world? What the government should or should not do, what others should or should not do? What kind of negative thinking, what kind of negative energy are my thoughts, words creating? Now, I'm sure every one of us has at one time or another done some ranting and raving about stuff that goes on, right? We're human, and we react. But what I've witnessed over and over again is when it really gets tough, we as a people become the demonstration our forefathers asked of the people in 1776. We roll up our shirt sleeves and we do whatever we can to move through the challenge, to move through the pain. 4th of July is a time to look within, to remind ourselves of the meaning and the power of the statement that this country is founded on. All men, women are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, among these life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Somewhere along the way, that word being patriotic, or patriotism, kind of took on a not such a good meaning for some people. Being patriotic doesn't mean I think this country's perfect. It's not about a politician's failures, election outcomes, government policy shortcomings, slump in the economy. Being patriotic means I respect and honor the ideas the founders put their honor, their fortune, and their lives on the line for to form this country. So call it freedom. Call it liberty. Call it whatever you want. But it is the bedrock on which this country is founded. And it's what defines us as Americans. And it's why those in other countries yearn to have what we have, why they seek to move here. In grade school, we started every day with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And so we're going to put that on the screen. And you're invited to sit or stand, whatever you're moved to do, as we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Dan, do you have it? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Dan, leave that up, please. I, me, this committee of one, pledges, dedicates, gives allegiance, my love, my energy, to the flag, to this symbol of freedom. The United States. Our states may be divided by imaginary boundaries. We were united. Wherever you travel in this country, we're united in that one common purpose. and to the republic for which it stands. We are a nation whose governing representatives are chosen by who? The people. A government is the people. From the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people. The Constitution begins with we the people. One nation, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty and justice for all. Freedom. The right to live one's life without threat or fear of retaliation. Each month this year, we have been doing one of our spiritual 12 powers a month. July's spiritual power is divine understanding. Dan, do you have that on the screen? Understanding is my ability to know that God stands under all things. Our pledge says one nation under God. That was added at a time when the communist threat was very large in this country. It was added so we would remember what this country stands on. God as principle stands under everything. Whatever the situation, there is a spiritual law in effect, even though I can't see it in this moment. There's a spiritual law in effect, even if I can't see it in this moment. John 20:29, Scripture reads, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed." We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual world governed by spiritual laws. And even though we can't see them, can I believe? Can I believe that God is in this situation too? In the situation in Orlando, in West Virginia, and some of the other places that are having terrible things happen right now. Can I believe that there is a bigger picture unfolding for humankind, even if it doesn't look like it? It may be hard to see God in the Orlando shooting, the other events taking place in the world. Yet I believe, even though I can't see it, I believe there is a good unfolding to bring people more of an awareness, to move us toward a higher consciousness. As I talk about this today, to make you aware that your thoughts, words, and actions are energy, and that by changing them, by holding positive instead of negative, we start making the difference, and we have started making a difference. When my intellect or when my ego can't understand why or how something is happening, before my negative thoughts take hold, they're going to jump in there. But we have the power to stop them. So before they take hold and start taking me down that rabbit hole, take a breath, breathe, and draw on the divine power of understanding by reminding yourself, God stands under this too. I can't see it, but I believe it. This week, watch your thoughts. And if you find yourself judging someone or something, it's called being the observer. Watch that thought, and as soon as you see it, ask yourself this question. What energy, what message am I sending into the world with these thoughts? Is it one of judgment and fear, or one of thriving and growing? Do my thoughts, words, and actions make me proud to be an American? Are they blessing the U.S.A? God bless you. Have a great 4th.